And there you have it, some of the top business news we're filing from you from our newsroom at this time. Now let's get talking now. I have with me right here in the studio to do some analysis of some of this top business story, Charles Fakuha, iBrand senior analyst, a stockbroker and a personal finance expert. Charles, good morning. It's a pleasure having you join me on the program.
Good morning.
Let's get talking now. The Federal Inland Revenue Service, that's the FIRS, has come out to say that this year they are projecting 19.4 trillion naira tax revenue generated from their own side this year. Now, looking at what is going on in the country at the moment, macroeconomic issues affecting businesses. Even Ipman is coming out to say that the harsh economic condition of the country is affecting their operations. Yeah. You will agree with me that the major source of this revenue will be coming from companies operating in the country. Now, with the kind of situation we'll be facing the economy today, do you see this revenue projection realistic? And do you see FIS actually achieving this?
It's very realistic. Very, very realistic.
All right.
You know, but the only issue there has to be with efficient collection.
Okay.
And if that is put in place, I believe they can even do better than that. Leakages should be blocked. You know, there are so many taxes that doesn't even get to government coffers. So when you are talking of the revenue service giving us a target, they have seen it and they know it is possible. They must have done scenario planning. They know it is possible and even beyond what the projection they are giving. Look at what custom gives you on a monthly basis. And you ask yourself, and according to some sources, they have even said what they even declare is even far cry from what they can actually, you know, receive from those kind of revenue. So I believe with efficient collection and the incentive as to the taxpayers seeing that these monies are used judiciously will encourage people to even do more in terms of their tax filing. So you can say it is possible as long as there is efficient collection of this revenue.
But Charles, let's look at this a little bit more. Let's dive into it a bit further. 19.4 trillion naira for the year 2024. Don't you see the government increasing taxes to achieve this? And if for any reason they have to, is that no more burden on companies operating in the country?
I don't know.
Already we are seeing the exit of multinationals, and I remember it was on Monday. Yes, we were having a conversation and we talked about the exit of multinationals leaving the country, and you did make mention of the fact that these multinationals are the one that is bringing in more taxes to the government.
That's true.
Now, if we're having more and more and more of these multinationals leaving the country, how will government be able to achieve these projections and even more revenue collection as they look forward to other ways to reduce external borrowing to fund infrastructure and also the budget? Your thoughts?
Good. Yes, you are correct when you say the multinationals are the ones paying this tax and all that. And I will even go further to say most of the quoted companies, because we've done the study and we see that the few companies that are quoted in the market, the amount of tax they pay to government, you know, it's very reasonable. And we believe that, yes, because that sector is highly regulated. And for them to continue to be in that as a quoted company, they must show that corporate social responsibility. Yeah. So they pay the tax that is due to the government. Yes, you say some of them are leaving. You know, I've had this argument several times. It's a very simple process. Take, is it SKB? They say
GSK.
GSK. Okay, GSK. They are leaving.
They've left already.
Okay, they've left. Now, do they offer the portion of the shares they own in that company? Let's bring it to the market. Nigerian investors are there to buy it up. And the company will continue. If they are leaving, are they going carrying their headquarters that they built over the time? Are they taking them to Europe or where they are coming from? No. Shell is leaving. And you have seen people coming together to buy the asset of Shell.
The asset has already been bought already. I think I have information to that respect here. One Nigerian-owned oil and gas industry has taken over, and that deal was facilitated by PwC, that's PricewaterhouseCoopers. And I think that happened yesterday. I'm trying to see if I can get to the information. Yeah, I got it now. Renaissance Africa Energy Company Limited has taken over the shares of Shell Petroleum Development Company, and that was facilitated by PwC, PricewaterhouseCoopers.
But again, for this transaction to be smooth, we are saying let the parties take into consideration the communities that are involved where this Shell operation is, because the PIA recognizes the community. So if the community is taken care of, that's the stakeholders, all stakeholders involved, the youths and all that, then of course they have plans to remediate the damage done to the environment, because you're not just taking the asset of this Shell. Shell has a lot of liabilities in terms of oil pollution, oil spillage and all that.
Environmental degradation.
That cleaning has also been done by these new investors. It's as simple as that.
But wait, let me just touch on that a little bit before we move further. I'll go deeper. Do you think that these companies, Nigerian-owned companies, are locally owned indigenous oil and gas companies? Do you think they have the capacity to maintain this trajectory, first, of profitability that this foreign agency, this foreign organization have been able to achieve over the years that they've operated in the country? And then again, do you think they have the capacity to sustain the operations beyond the level that this foreign organization actually sustained before their exit?
Well, the little experience I had with the oil and gas industry as a trading consultant for them, I will tell you categorically, the local contents in the Nigerian oil and gas are ready. There is capacity, the technology is there to surpass what these multinational oil and gas companies are already doing. It's very simple. The technology is everywhere. So if this new consortium, they need a new technology in terms of oil and gas exploration, you can buy that technology. You can bring people to come to and begin to drill for you, whatever it's horizontal drilling, it is deep oil or offshore drilling and all that. That technology is there. The only thing we will tell them is let them be cautious. Like all the mistakes Shell was making in terms of the environment and taking care of the community, they will go beyond, because they will know that it is local content. And you need to go and see what local content in Bayelsa is doing there, and showing that even these so-called multinational companies have enough local content, not only in their technology, but also in their human resources. So you'll be amazed. Most of the top-notch engineers, explorers, petroleum engineers who work for Shell are Nigerians who have had this experience all over the world. Because we must thank Shell. Shell has what we call cross-posting. As you are here employed in Shell, not only Shell, other oil companies, they do what they call cross-posting. So you can see a Nigerian who is here, but also a top-notch petroleum engineer somewhere in Texas, somewhere in Totafina, somewhere in France and all that. And they gather this worldwide experience, even in Saudi Arabia, but they are Nigerians. They are on cross-posting. So by the time we have taken over local content, when they come back, I think they can even surpass what these current ones are doing. My only advice will be the environment and the communities will be taken care of.
I just hope that the new oil and gas company that's taking over the shares of Shell will actually look into that. Is very, very pivotal.
Yes.
Because if these foreigners are not taking the host community likely, I expect that our own homegrown indigenous oil and gas sector will look at that and have the need to be compassionate to their host country. Now, still on the oil and gas sector, and by extension, still talking about taxation, I have to move down now to my last story now, which is the oil and gas marketers under the auspices of an independent petroleum marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMAN, are coming out and they're asking the government to give them some kind of tax relief to help them ameliorate or cushion the effect of subsidy removal, which has brought about some kind of hardship on their business operations. What do you have to say concerning this, and do you see this achievable?
Well, the oil and gas marketers, they are playing a major role in the economy of the country, and if they are going through this kind of challenge, there's nothing wrong for them to appeal to the government to give them some kind of incentive, you know, as to, because they are telling you that if you do the mathematics, you know, they bring the oil, the landing charge and all that, what they are selling now, they are really not getting anything. Okay, I wouldn't want to go into the effective pricing of the oil and gas product, but if they are the operators there and they have come out to say, look, President Tinubu, since you remove subsidy, these are the challenges we are going through. give us some incentive in terms of tax holidays and all that relief. Yes, every sector of the economy has the right to ask for relief and incentive to enhance their operation. And if they can make their case very well, and of course the government has the oil and gas ministry, you have Minister for State Oil, Minister for State Gas, you also have the substantive minister, who is the president himself. And if they look at it, and look at even all the regulators in that sector, you have the upstream regulator, you have the downstream regulator, even the midstream now, and if they all see that, yes, it is necessary for these oil marketers to get that kind of incentive, fine. But if on their own estimate, they feel, but I think a compromise can be reached, and let's see that there is smooth operation in that sector.
But do you think that if for any reason that the government will decide to give this sector, these operators, some kind of tax incentive or tax relief, what ripple effects would that have on revenue generation? Because it's very important we talk about that.
Yes, you see, tax in itself is to generate revenue. But that tax can also be used to encourage businesses.
Okay.
And that is what even the oil marketers are just praying for. That's their prayer.
All right.
That yes, we know that tax is for revenue generation. We are saying because of what we are going through in our own operation, because you have removed subsidy, okay, give us this incentive by way of tax relief. And the government will need to look at it and say, okay, this is our projection.
All right.
And if it is within their reach, yes, they can say fine. But if it is not, the government will say, okay, because it's not obligatory for the government to say, because you have asked, we are going to give it to you.
All right.
Government have to do their own arithmetic very well and know whether it is good to grant them or not.
All right, now, so much to talk about. We'll take a short break, and when we return, we'll dust a little bit more on this and then look at other top stories that we have for you. Filing from our newsroom. It's Business Breakfast on iBrand Television. We'll be back in a moment. Just stay with us.